How's it going, everyone? I'm Jakejames Lugo, and welcome to the channel. So let's talk about something I haven't really discussed before, and that's Digimon. Now I know there's some fans out there, calm down, don't get all offended and stuff. I haven't played every single game or seen all the series before, but I did play Digimon Rumble back in the day on PlayStation. So let's actually see if this new Digimon fighting game or arena battle fighting game is any better, if not awesome, compared to that game back then. I mean, again, even for someone that's not really a big fan of Digimon, I hear this is supposed to be good. Keyword, supposed to be.
Digimon All-Star Rumble is a 3D action game that brings together a selection of monsters from several entries of the Digimon series. The game was released on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 back in 2014. The easiest comparison I can make to this would be the Power Stone series from Capcom, where you're running around and fighting opponents within a small arena. For those who are veteran fans of Digimon, there's a slight resemblance to the game Digimon Rumble as well, only that the game borrowed elements from things like Super Smash Bros. And had a 2D design back then. Regardless though, you're getting digital monsters battling it out here. Unfortunately, there isn't much of a good story tying everything together. Within the digital world, Magnadramon decides to host a digital monster evolution tournament. This is to help the Digimon gain experience and Digivolve, while also mixing things up from being boring during a peaceful time. However, all of this is a ploy behind the scenes in order to determine the strongest contender and have them restore the sanity of a legendary protector that's been corrupted by a virus. Doing so will keep the digital world safe and allow everyone to continue living peacefully. It's a very mediocre story and hardly has any relation to any other Digimon plot you might know. There's a number of digital monsters you might recognize from various series, but the pool of characters and their evolutions is very small, so don't go into this expecting a ton of fan service or a big ensemble of digital monsters to satiate your fandom.
Now maybe I'm speaking as a very ignorant non-fan of the franchise here, but the whole story setup for this game feels kinda whack. It just feels very tacked on. There's no real interesting reason or hard reference to any other Digimon series to get these characters together into one game. Feels like it could benefit from pulling from other series like the anime, like other games that have been included in the franchise, but really we kind of feel like we got something that's tacked onto here and it's just kind of meh. On top of that also is just the roster just feels very slim and meager. Feels like you could have included a little bit more Digimon into here to kind of build up the roster a little bit more. Not just a couple Digimon and then double it up with their Digi Evolutions. It just feels very padded. Again, maybe that's just me as someone who's not a really big fan of Digimon, but even then I feel like Digimon hardcore fans would have benefited from having more of that stuff injected into here. It would have felt a little bit more special. At least that's what I got when playing Digimon Rumble back in the day. But that's just story stuff, and again, that's just one aspect of the game. What about the gameplay? Maybe it's actually really good. Maybe it's much better than this stuff. I mean, possibly? Kinda?
The battles are straightforward and almost identical to something like Power Stone. Up to 4 contenders can participate and duke it out in a variety of match types. This includes survival, point battle, metal battle, damage battle, bomb battle, and flag battle. They all play exactly how they sound, with everyone trying to KO each other or gather enough collectibles to win a match. As much as these might sound different, every mode ends up becoming a mad scramble to deal damage to the others or grab something on the field. There's 10 stages to battle on, each with their own hazards and collectibles you can find while fighting your opponents. Some are definitely more interesting than others, but I would be lying if I didn't say that each stage ends up feeling lackluster in the end. I feel like some stages there's some bugs and invisible walls that get in the way of your movement and your attacks. It also doesn't help that the collectibles you can gather appear in specific spots and can take up the focus of the camera when they appear, which can lead to some awkward zoom outs of the camera that can throw you off your game. It's not like how in Super Smash Bros. Where the game tries to keep everyone on screen at the same time and the focus of the matchup. In Digimon, everything becomes blindly focused on the collectibles when they appear. This gets super annoying, especially when there's multiple characters on the map. Let me also state that the combos for every Digimon you play feels really stiff and broken at times. Everyone has a moveset they can utilize, but good luck trying to be consistent with your attacks and how they damage opponents. Some button inputs won't always register, and you might miss attacks completely without reason. The thing that every fan cares about though are the Digi Evolutions for every character. For the most part, these are pretty good and open up some powerful attacks, but you can only use them for a short time and need to build up a meter in order to use them. Sometimes this works out good, and others you might end up wasting it when you struggle to hit an opponent with your attacks. Against the computer this could get very annoying, to the point that I almost rage quit a few matches over some terrible hit detection in some spots. Overall, this is definitely not as fine-tuned as games like Power Stone or anything similar. Digimon or no Digimon, the combat can be very frustrating.
Bible.
Let's go! Hey, let's do this!
Let's go!
With such a limited roster, it feels like the matches could get very repetitive very fast. Again, even though you're dealing with different characters from the Digimon series, there's just not enough of them to make every single matchup feel a little bit more special and dynamic. The other thing too is that the stages with their hazards could sometimes be very unreliable. I know that, granted, they are a little bit much more tuned to 4-player combat as opposed to one-on-one, but you could look at something like Super Smash Bros. And it kind of works for both setups. And for whatever reason in this game, it just felt like, they kind of almost decided like you're going to be playing 4-player matches every single time, when that might not actually be the case. The other big problem here is that there's no online multiplayer. There's only local multiplayer on the same console, which really kills a lot of the value for a game like this, which could benefit from multiplayer, especially when you have no other friends around you to play some of these different match types. Now, outside of all that, what about this story mode, which is very different than what you get in the main game? Maybe that's actually something kind of good. It's like, oh god, you know what? I can't even. It's going to suck, people. Seriously, it sucks.
Now let's be real here. The story mode in Digimon All-Star Battle is not good. When I first began playing it, I thought it was going to be a neat change of pace from the regular matches. It looked like a good third-person action game with a little platforming added in there, but I quickly realized it wasn't anything remotely what I had hoped it was. The controls are the same for the story mode as they are in the regular matches, with you fighting a generic digital monsters throughout a long drawn-out campaign. The worst part is the final area you visit before the last battle, which can become very frustrating with how you need to get through a gauntlet of enemies with very little recovery items. It doesn't help that most of the story isn't told through cutscenes, but rather dialogue boxes that make the whole mode feel rushed. There's also the Digimon cards you can gather that give you boost in combat, of which you can equip 2 at a time. These are nearly obsolete because you hardly get enough in order to make any sort of real impact, let alone the chance to gather more outside of story mode. Yeah, that's another thing. Winning matches in story mode gives you currency to spend on extra cards to gain bonuses, but every card costs way too much to unlock. It's so tacked on that it's downright laughable to see how bad this turned out. Finishing the story mode unlocks the Digi Evolution for your selected Digimon, so you have to play through it multiple times to get the others. Honestly, this isn't really worth the trouble of going through the story mode again and again. It's just lame to play through, even for Digimon fans who love the series. It's like some other Bandai Namco anime-based games that feel lackluster, only this one is a lot more shallow. To put it bluntly, the game feels like it's almost unfinished and could have benefited from much more time being developed.
It's a real shame because once you finish story mode, it feels like you're not really getting much of anything else outside of just the Digi Evolutions, which don't really feel that special. There's no bonus movies, no concept art, no extra additional stuff, no references to the other Digimon games. It just feels very lackluster after going through all this stuff that you have to struggle with in this story mode. And here's the thing, the story mode itself is a neat idea and a neat concept. Having a third-person action game where you're playing as a Digimon and just like playing in a beat-em-up style format against other Digimon, that's actually kind of cool. It's the same thing that Pokemon Rumble did not too long ago. But even so, the execution of this game is just kind of garbage. So after everything that I've said up to this point, can I recommend that you guys check out Digimon All-Star Rumble on PlayStation 3? Real talk? Absolutely not. I think the game is terrible. I think the game has a lot of neat ideas that just weren't executed all that well. Even for Digimon fans that are real hardcore about everything Digimon, this is not a great game. There's so many other better Digimon games out there, and I really believe, at least after playing this and a few others, that Digimon is so much better as an actual role-playing game than it is a fighting game, and it's a real shame to say something like that. If you're still curious about it, or if you probably played Digimon Rumble back in the day on PlayStation 1, give it a try and see how you actually like it, but I feel like even then, you're going to still have the same complaints that I did about this game, which, for any Digimon fan, it's a shame to see how bad this thing can actually be.
Oh no!
Anyway, my friends, that's just my thoughts about Digimon All-Star Rumble. I wish I liked it a whole lot better, but this game is terrible compared to like some of the other Digimon games I hear about that are out there. Maybe I gotta go play one of the role-playing games or go watch some of the anime series in order to get into Digimon and see what this series is all about. But as always with any game, that's just my opinions about it. Let me know what you guys think about this game down below in the comments section. Tell me, are you a big Digimon fan? Do you like Digimon All-Star Battle or Digimon Rumble? Did you play that back in the day? What are some of your favorite Digimon games that I should be playing and many other people should be playing as well? Tell me about all that stuff down below in the comments section.
Thanks for watching this video, everyone. Go ahead and click the boxes on the side to see more videos and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to go visit my Patreon page for exclusive gaming content that I know you'll really love. Hope you have a chill day. Peace out and stay epic, everybody.